Hey there, 7th graders. Welcome to today's Explainer, specifically covering the lesson Classroom Language Guided Notes Video Overview. And just for your records, the official ID for this one is language-chinese-hsk-language-chinese-hsk unit-01-lesson pack-02 Classroom Language-Guided Notes-Video Overview. Today, we're going to set up our guided notes to completely master authentic classroom communication in Chinese. By the end of this session, you'll know exactly how to walk into the room, greet your teacher respectfully, chat with a classmate, and wrap up for the day. So grab your notebook and a pen, and let's dive right in. Here is our class period journey for today. We'll be hitting greetings and polite address, translating yes and no, beginning class and courses, leaving the classroom, and then wrapping up with a practice and transfer task. Right now, I want you to draw 4 columns on your paper and label them like this: expression, meaning, when to use it, and response pattern. Got it? Okay, let's get started. Greetings and polite address, entering the classroom. Let's start literally the moment your teacher walks into the room. For the first row of your notes, jot down the expression 老师好, which translates to hello teacher. Notice something here? In Chinese, we place the title 老师 before the greeting 好 to be polite. You'll use this right at the start of class to show respect, and the teacher will usually respond back with a simple 你好. Moving to the second row, we have 请问. This means excuse me, or literally, may I ask. It is an absolutely crucial, super polite phrase to use to smooth things over before you ask a question. Here's how this looks in the real world. In Chinese classrooms, students naturally stand up when the teacher walks in to show respect. So if your teacher's last name is Wei, you stand up, look at them, and confidently say, 喂老师好. You always put the surname first, then the title, then the greeting. Make sure you get that structure down in your notes. Section 2, translating yes and no, correcting a common misconception. Okay, before we go any further, we need to completely erase a major misconception you probably have about translating from English. It usually blows people's minds, but Chinese actually doesn't have a direct universal word for yes or no. No way, right? Instead, you have to carefully listen to the verb the person used in their question. To say yes, you literally just repeat that specific verb. To say no, you add a negative word right in front of that verb. Let's look at a concrete example. Imagine the teacher asks you, 忙吗? Meaning, are you busy? The verb here is 忙, to be busy. To answer yes, you don't search your brain for a Chinese word for yes. You just answer with the verb itself, often adding a supporting word like 很. So you'd say 很忙, which means very busy. To answer no, you simply negate the verb by saying 不忙, not busy. The huge takeaway here, always be listening for the verb. Section 3. Beginning class and courses, getting organized. Now that you know how to correctly say yes or no, let's get the class organized. Add these to your 4-column notes. First up is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll hear this when the teacher is counting off the class for groups. You just need to acknowledge your number. The whole point of this counting off is usually to find our next expression, your bun or. That means your partner or mate for an activity. Now, why exactly is the teacher counting? Well, they're likely checking to see if the class total is an odd number, which is 单数, or an even number, which is 双数. If the class is 双数, that is awesome because it means 大家都有伴人. Everyone has a partner. If it's 单数, well, someone might just end up partnering with a teacher. So once you're grouped up with your banyer, you might have a quick chat about your courses for the day. Here are 2 vital expressions to write down. 有考试 means have a test. You'd use this when talking about the day's agenda. And your partner's response might be that they are 紧张 or nervous. The second expression is 中文考试, meaning a Chinese test. You use this when you need to specify the exact subject. Let's see this in action with a modeled exchange straight from our sources. This is a super common, everyday classroom conversation you could literally turn around and have with a classmate right now. Student A asks, 有什么考试? What test do you have? Student B says, 中文考试, a Chinese language test. Student A sympathizes, saying, 很难吧? It must be difficult. And student B coolly brushes it off with, 不太难, 还好. It's not so bad. It's fine. It's short, it flows nicely, and it puts our new vocab to work perfectly. All right, time for a quick retrieval check. Let's see if you were paying attention earlier. If a classmate asks you, 有考试吗? Meaning, do you have a test? How do you correctly answer yes in Chinese? I'll give you a second to think about it. Remember our misconception rule. Whatever you do, don't look for a generic word for yes. You repeat the verb, which here is 有, meaning to have. So the correct answer is just one word, 有. Awesome job if you remembered that. Section 4. Leaving the classroom. Class dismissed. Okay, the bell's about to ring, so let's get our notes ready for how to properly leave. Add these final 3 phrases to your table. First up is 再见, the absolute standard goodbye. Make sure to capture its literal meaning in your notes because it's a great memory trick. It literally means again, see. The response is just to say 再见 back. Next is 明天见, which means see you tomorrow, super useful for classes you have every day. Finally, 慢走. Literally, this means slowly walk, but it's used as take it easy. It's a really friendly farewell your teacher might give you as you head out the door.
And notice how, just like when we first walked in, we structure our sentence very deliberately when we leave. 好，韦老师，再见. Okay, Professor Wei, goodbye. We're keeping that surname and title right at the front of the sentence. It ensures we remain respectful and polite, even as we're packing up our bags.
Section 5. Practice and transfer task. Putting it all together. All right, you now have a totally complete 4-column set of guided notes. So it's time to test those new skills in a brand new scenario. I want you to use only your notes to translate this exact sequence. Step 1, greet your new teacher, Professor Zhang. Step 2, answer no when she asks if you are busy. Don't forget the verb rule. Step 3, count off 1, 2, 3, 4 to find your bun. Step 4, tell your partner you have a Chinese test. And step 5, say see you tomorrow as you leave. Work through those 5 steps on your own to truly prove you've mastered today's material. Incredible job today, focused learners. That officially wraps up our explainer for the lesson, Classroom Language Guided Notes Video Overview, with the exact ID language, Chinese HSK Language Chinese HSK Unit 01 Lesson Pack 02, Classroom Language Guided Notes Video Overview. Keep reviewing those guided notes and try practicing the phrases out loud. But before you go, think about this. If you can flawlessly navigate a completely new classroom environment in Chinese on day 1, just imagine what you could do in a bustling street market in Beijing, or even a high-stakes boardroom one day. Where is this language going to take you next? I'll see you in the next explainer.